Okay, let's bring up Mr. Martinez Torres and Deputy Requena.
Sir, how you doing? Good morning, sir. It's Deputy Dunbar.
Good morning, Deputy Dunbar. I'm sorry. We have a listing for Palma as being out on bond. And I don't have the warrant for Palma.
So he did say to us earlier that his bond was posted, but it was posted last night. So if it's in there, and he's still here with us in the jail, but we can send him back up.
Okay, and I'll let him know. What we get. I thought we had Miss Bermudez on here.
Okay.
I am, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at these boxes. Okay. Mr. Martinez Torres, sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Martínez Torres. Pues, señor, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Hey.
Yes.
My name is Brad Gardner. I'm a magistrate court judge here in Clayton County. I will be presiding over this hearing today.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez del Tribunal de Primera Instancia aquí en el condado de Clayton y yo voy a presidir esta audiencia en el día de hoy.
The purpose of this hearing is not to take a plea in your case or to have a trial in your case.
El propósito de esta audiencia no es aceptar una declaración a cargos en su caso o de tener un juicio en su caso.
Instead, I'm here to tell you what you've been accused of.
En lugar de esto, yo estoy acá para decirle de lo que se le acusa,
To provide you with court dates,
para decirle cuándo va a ser su próxima corte
and to see whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para ver si usted requiere la asistencia de un abogado.
Mr. Martinez Perez, sir, you've been charged with 2 driving-related offenses.
Señor Martínez señor Martínez Torres, a usted se le acusa de tener 2 infracciones de tránsito.
Hey.
For the driving a vehicle without a license, there's going to be a $1,500 bond.
Por conducir un vehículo sin licencia de conducir válida, va a ser una fianza de $1,500.
And for driving a vehicle with the tail lights out, there's going to be a $5,000 bond.
Y, Judge, did you say 5,000?
I'm sorry, Jesus, 500. And I did say Martinez Perez, but it's Martinez Torres.
Yes, sir. So it's 500 for the tail lights.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Y por conducir con las luces quemadas va a ser una fianza de $500.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su audiencia preliminar va a ser el día 30 de agosto a las 8:30 de la mañana.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Esta corte se cancela tan pronto usted pague su fianza y salga, y usted recibiría un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Sir, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Señor, ¿quiere usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
No, necesito ver si puedo pagar la fianza hoy o hoy mismo. ¿Puedo pagar?
No, I just need to see if I can pay the bond. Can I pay it today?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Or do you have any questions for me?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí?
Podría entonces salir hoy, ¿verdad?
Can I be released today? Right?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Okay, señor, puede retirarse.
Let's bring up Palma.
¿Vamos a traer a Palma?
Palma.
Orlín Palma.
Mr. Palma, can you hear and understand the interpreter, sir?
Señor Palma, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
It appears, sir, that your bond has been set or paid for.
Señor, tal parece que su fianza ha sido fija o ha sido pagada.
So when you leave this proceeding, sir, you should receive notice that your bond has been paid and you can bond out.
O sea que cuando usted salga de este proceso, señor, usted debe de recibir una notificación de que su fianza ya fue pagada y usted puede salir bajo fianza.
Do you have any questions for me?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí?
Es la misma. Si podría salir hoy igual, por si ya está pagado.
So it's the same thing. Can I be released today if it's already paid?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Okay, señor, puede retirarse.
Let's now go, well, Ms. Bermudez, I think that ends our need for you today.
Yes, sir.
So you are excused and have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You do as well.
Thank you. Let's start with Mr. Elmazon. Mr. Elmazon, sir, I would normally speak to you, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to speak with your lawyer about your case today.
Yes, sir.
You need to understand that these proceedings are being recorded and they're not privileged. So please don't say anything you wouldn't want the whole world to know. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm sorry, tell me your name.
Sure, it's Whitney Baker. I'm with Pate Johnson and Church.
Okay. Attorney Baker, Mr. Elmazon is charged with one count of trafficking marijuana. The allegation is that is 46 pounds of marijuana. I cannot set bond at this stage for anything that is 10 pounds or over. So bond is going to be denied pursuant to OCGA 17-6-1. He's going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning, and that will most likely be by Zoom. He's also going to have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, also by Zoom. Now, of course, the fact that I can't set a bond at this hearing doesn't mean that you may be able to reach an agreement with the district attorney's office, and I won't interject myself into that.
Sure. Do you have any idea at this moment what judge will be assigned to the case so that I might be able to speak to the appropriate person at the DA's office?
Okay, it is going to be me. I'm going to be doing, yes, preliminary hearings that week.
He needs to call Cheryl Freeman, Judge.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm actually at the courthouse now. I was hoping to be able to speak with my client before this morning. For your benefit, I'll be speaking with you when they bring you back to housing. But so Cheryl Freeman is who I need to speak with in the DA's office. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you very much, Judge.
Okay, you're free to go. And Mr. Elmazon, stay in contact with your lawyer, and you're free to go back, sir. Okay, let's bring up Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper, sir, you're in the same position as Mr. Elmazon. I would normally speak to you directly, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to speak with your lawyer about your case. Again, these proceedings are being recorded and they're not privileged or private. So please don't say anything you would not want the whole world to know. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Edie, Mr. Cooper is also charged with trafficking marijuana, and there's an allegation of 19.6 pounds, and I can't set bond at this proceeding for anything over 10 pounds. He's going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. He's also going to have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, which will be by Zoom. Do you have any questions for me, Mr.
No,
King?
I was understanding that was going to be the issue, so I already had sent out an email over to Ms. Freeman and was trying to already get that started. And I see that it looked like she's already out somewhere. Oh no, like she's in. She just gave me the email to send everything to, so I'll be working on that as well and trying to get that done before I come before you on the 31st.
Okay, thank you, sir. You may be excused, and Mr. Cooper, stay in contact with your lawyer.
I have one question. By any chance, because I was just retained about 20, 30 minutes ago, can I get the warrant number to add on to my entry of appearance?
Sure. For Mr. Cooper is 2022 WA 12881.
All right, that'd be 198. 2022 19881.
12881.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Cooper may be returned.
Mr. Cooper, I'll come see you today.
I was going to say, can I get your information?
I'll come see you today.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's.
Judge.
Yes.
So another attorney just sent me an email for the Zoom link for a Slade. You can probably, he's not on yet. I just sent it to him if you want to go ahead and get started with the rest of them.
Okay. Was it Joshua Shade?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That was another trafficking marijuana. I think there were 11 arrests yesterday at the airport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll stand by. When he comes up, we'll address them.
Okay.
So, Mr. Shade, just wait, sir. When your lawyer comes up, we will deal with you then. So it looks like there are 3 pods from the Clayton County Jail. Is there someone? Is that Mr. The person that's in medical isolation? Hawkins, Mr. Hawkins? Someone is speaking or is just speaking, but the camera was on, or I mean, the audio was off. Okay, it looks like the audio is now on, but the camera is still off. Okay. Well, we'll just keep moving forward. If that was going to be the medical isolation, I was going to do that person next, so that we can get that camera off. But we'll just keep moving forward. Okay, I'm about to read the script, and then we'll start with the ladies' side. Okay, can everyone hear me on both sides?
Yes, sir. I hear you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I heard it sounds like you're buffering really badly. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to resumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, would everyone please raise their right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay. Do we have, is that Mr. Hawkins, where it looks like it's in a gym?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna do Mr. Hawkins first, and then we'll switch over to the ladies. Everyone else can put their hands down. We're gonna switch over to the ladies and then go to the men. Okay, Mr. Hawkins, sir, you're charged with 1 felony offense and 1 misdemeanor offense. The felony is listed as a battery. I'm sorry, the misdemeanor is listed as a battery. I've set the bond at $1,000. The felony is terroristic threats. I've also listed the bond at $1,000. And this is in recognition of your age, sir. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That will be by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You have every right to represent yourself, to hire your own lawyer, or to stay with the appointed lawyer. But again, given your age, I'm going to try to make certain that you have as many protections as possible. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Hawkins? Okay, Mr. Hawkins is free to go, and that pod, we can release that pod.
What was the bond amount again?
1,000 on each charge.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. All right, let's switch over to the ladies' side. Mr. Hubbard. Mr. Hubbard, are you representing Mr. Shade?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
I am.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Let's bring up Mr. Shade on the men's side.
How are you this morning, Judge?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
Let's see. So this again is one of those offenses, Mr. Shade. So we can release Mr. Hawkins and we can shut down that computer. Mr. Shade, sir, I would normally speak to you directly. You've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire a lawyer, so I'm going to speak with your lawyer about your case. I just want to caution you that anything you say here is not privileged, nor is it private. So please don't say anything you wouldn't want the whole world to know. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Hubbard, Mr. Shade is charged with trafficking marijuana, and the amount listed is approximately 40 pounds. This is an offense that I cannot set bond for at this stage. Do you need his warrant number?
Yeah, I'll take that, Judge.
Okay, it is 2022 WA 12872. He's going to have a, you're welcome. He's going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. He's also going to have a bond hearing set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, also by Zoom. We're going to request of you, Mr. Hubbard, as soon as possible to send an entry in. That way, you will receive notice of the Zoom link when it goes out, and you will receive the information that's necessary for you to represent Mr. Shade.
One housekeeping question, Your Honor. Am I allowed to file the entry via electronic filing, or do I have to come to the courthouse? I have no problem doing either. I'm just asking.
Well, Ms. Mary, correct me if you think I'm giving bad information. I prefer that you send it to my judicial assistant, which is Ms. Moultrie.
Okay.
And Ms. Moultrie, if you would put your email address in the chat for Mr. Hubbard, and that way.
Already has it.
Okay. So we
I do.
just, yes, so that it comes to us and we make sure we get it, because with the way things are now, if you were to do it in a different fashion, it may not reach us by the 31st.
I'll do that within the next few moments, Your Honor. And in terms of getting a copy of the warrant, could that be emailed to me, a copy of the warrant, or once again, I have to appear at the magistrate's court to gain that copy?
If Ms. Moultrie has your information, I can make sure that you get a copy of the warrant. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Okay. So are there any other questions, Mr. Hubbard?
No other questions on behalf of Mr. Shade, Your Honor. And I spoke with Mr. Shade yesterday evening. Mr. Shade was well aware that the court would not have the authority to set bond on the charge today.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Hubbard. You can be excused, and Mr. Shade, he can go back to his housing unit.
And Mr. Shade, I'll see you soon. Thank you very much, Judge. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Let's switch over to the ladies' side with Miss Bermant.
Come on up, state your name.
Hello.
Good morning, Ms. Bermant. Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're also charged with 1 count of having an open container in your vehicle. Bond is going to be set at $500. And you finally have a charge of driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. These are all misdemeanor offenses, so you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That will most likely be by Zoom. If you bond out, that hearing date will be waived and you will receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes. But I also do have one question for you. At the scene of the crime, the officer read me.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Nothing. So only those 3 charges, correct?
That's what's showing to me now, ma'am. Anything else? Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Bone.
Tiara Bond.
Ms. Bone, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. You're also charged with battery, which is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Markel Anderson. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. If you bond out, that date will get waived by operation of law and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
You're going to hire your own lawyer or represent yourself?
I mean, you go ahead with it.
Well, I'm not trying to something on you. I just was asking that question so I can make the proper notation on the paperwork.
Yeah.
So are you sure you want me to appoint you a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Cargill,
Sorry, Judge. Can I have the bond amounts again?
10,000 for the aggravated assault and 5,000 for the battery.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Cargill, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of having, what is this thing? Looks like they're making an allegation about your brake lights or signal device, which would be your blinker.
It was the brake, he said both of the brake lights was out. It was 5:30.
Okay. The bond is going to be set at $500 for that offense. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're charged with 1 count of simple possession of a controlled substance. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And you're charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Bond is going to be set at $5,000.
2 things, Judge.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak. I promise.
Okay.
I just have to make sure I inform you of all the stuff you need to know.
Okay.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Ms. Cargill?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, I cut you off. Please tell me what you wanted to ask me.
Okay, 2 things. That pill that was in there, my sister had a prescription for that.
Mm-hmm.
Second, the gun, the car is not my car. So I wouldn't know if the lights were out or not. But being that they were and found a gun in the vehicle, I'm not that stupid. I'm on probation. I have 6 kids. So like right now, me being sitting in jail is real ugly for me. And it's not my gun or my car or my pill. I'll take it with me.
Okay. What's your next question?
That's it. I want to be able to get a bond because I am on probation. That firearm, that felony is going to keep me in jail.
Ma'am, I've given you bonds.
It's still going to be a $5,000 bond with the gun?
Ma'am, when you take possession of a vehicle,
right,
you have possession of the vehicle. So I've appointed a lawyer. There are ways that you can navigate yourself out of this, but you're going to have to speak to your lawyer about it.
Okay, so how much is the bond in the total?
Okay, ma'am, give me 1 second. $10,000,
So how much would I have to pay to bond out?
approximately 10 to 12%.
That's fine.
Anything else, ma'am?
Have a great day.
You too. You're free to go back. Ms. Childs? Ms. Childs, good morning. Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of speeding. Bond is going to be set at $500. And you're charged of 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. These are both misdemeanor offenses. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. This date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Yes, Judge.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Could you repeat the numbers, or am I gonna be like?
Total bond is $5,500.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge.
You're welcome. You're free to go back, ma'am. Ms. Gonzalez.
Hi, good morning, Judge.
Good morning, ma'am. You're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana, and I cannot set bond at this stage for this offense. So bond is going to be denied pursuant to Georgia statute OCGA 17-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, also by Zoom. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes. I also have a question.
Okay, hold on. You qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what's your question?
This is my first arrest and offense. Can I get a reason why I can't get one?
So, Georgia statute OCGA 17-6-1 that says for a trafficking marijuana charge, any amount that is 10 pounds or over, the first judge cannot set bond. Doesn't mean you can't get bond tomorrow through a consent with the district attorney's office, but that has been taken out of my hands.
Okay, so when can I see my next judge?
August 31st or September 2nd. Those are the next dates. Now, again, just like the individuals here, I don't know if you were watching or not, that had lawyers. Their lawyers could be talking to the prosecutor right now, working out a consent bond. And if the parties agreed, I'd sign off on it. If the district attorney's office agreed and your lawyer agreed, I sign off on it. But I just can't do it at this stage. Okay? And I'm sorry, and I don't know, honestly, ma'am, and again, I think we had 11 people arrested at the airport yesterday on trafficking marijuana charges. And a lot of people are in the same position that you're in. And it's not the first person that I've heard, this is my first charge, or a lot of people have parking tickets, but I just can't set bond.
Okay, but if I had a lawyer present with me right now, you could?
Nope, I could not. Like I said, your lawyer can walk over and talk to the district attorney's office and reach an agreement, and they'll send that over to the court. And I can sign off on a consent agreement between the prosecutor and your lawyer. I can't issue a bond at first appearance.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. McDaniel. Ma'am, you're in the same boat as to other individuals. You're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. I cannot set bond at this stage on this offense pursuant to Georgia statute OCGA 2022-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That will be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning by Zoom. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Judge, but also, what you was telling her, if I could possibly get a lawyer, they can just come over there and talk to y'all at the district attorney.
Not to me.
I mean, not to you, but at the district attorney's office and come to an agreement.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna find
I'll try to get a lawyer. I'm not sure, but I definitely want you to get me a lawyer if I can't.
Okay. I appointed you a lawyer. You qualify. Do you have any other questions for me?
So I can't get out today. I got to hear that I got another appearance on the 31st and a bond hearing on the 2nd.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Miss McClendon.
She bonded out earlier.
Oh, she did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So that concludes, no, I have Ms. Trice.
He said she bonded out?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. McClendon bonded out. You are Ms. Trice?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Kenyatta Allen. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
No, you ain't got to no word phone. That's for them to remember.
Okay, let's switch over to the mail side. Thank you. Have a good weekend, Deputy Swain.
Likewise, Your Honor.
Call it the first person.
Okay, we're ready for Mr. Boner.
He's in medical, Your Honor. He's gonna be the one I'm gonna do at the very end, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Is it Brish or Bryce? Brish. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with a suspended license. Bond is set at $1,500. 1 count of driving a vehicle with no insurance. Bond is set at $1,000. And 1 count of driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag. Bond is set at $500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th because these are all misdemeanor offenses. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Looks like you refused to sign the form. So are you going to represent yourself or are you going to hire your own lawyer?
No, I'm not going to get a lawyer, sir.
Okay, so you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, I'm not going to get a lawyer, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir. Let's see, Mr. Calloway.
Bryce.
I'm sorry, tell me your name, sir.
Dallas, like Dallas, Texas, and last name Calloway, like Calloway Gardner, sir.
Okay, Mr. Calloway, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm gonna deny bond at this stage for that offense. You're charged with 1 count of reckless conduct. I'm setting a bond at $5,000. 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Carl Robinson. Do you understand that, sir? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That most likely will be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, also by Zoom. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
So,
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Calloway. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
yes, Your Honor.
What's your question?
Considering the fact that I was the victim and I was protecting my mother, could I please have my assault charge dropped, knowing that you have the power to do so?
No, I'm not going to drop it. Firing a gun and stabbing somebody, it could have been another 12-year-old child dead right now.
I was protecting my mother because she was.
I understand. I do understand. Call 911. If you discharge a gun in this community, you're going to be denied bond and you're going to sit in jail for a while.
Yes, I understand. It was accidental, Your Honor. But I just wanted to let you know that I was a victim and my mother was a victim, and the victim is not pressing charges.
Well, Mr. Calloway, the thing that I think that you may not be aware of is that the detectives went out and canvassed your neighborhood and picked up audio from your mother trying to tell you to stop what you were doing and that you were going to go to jail. So, sir, these proceedings are being recorded. I just think you should speak to your lawyer first before you start making declarative statements. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Carter. Yes, sir.
Carter.
Reginald Carter.
Reginald Carter.
Mr. Carter, sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And you're charged with 1 count of possessing a controlled substance after crossing the guard line at the jail. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201, or it'll be by Zoom. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Carter?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Carter?
I can be honest with you, Your Honor. I've been in the jail 8 months. I'm trying to figure out how in the world I get on that charge crossing the line when I've been incarcerated 8 months here.
Really possessing a narcotic after crossing the guard line. So there are 2 separate statutes. One is bringing it in or possessing it. Bringing it in, meaning crossing the guard line, or possessing it after you have crossed the guard line. The other statute deals with essentially importing it, like having someone else bring it in and you take possession of it. So I don't know, it said that you possessed it. You may want to speak to your lawyer about it. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you on this charge.
Like the marijuana was never found on my possessions.
So something like a drug or a gun, there can be active and constructive possession. Active possession is that it's found on your person. Constructive possession is that it's found either near you or in a space where they believe you have control over. Okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Dickerson. Mr. Dickerson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And you're charged with 1 count of possession of THC oil. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. and 1 count of possession of methamphetamine, simple possession. Bond is going to also be set at $3,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. If you post bond, that hearing will get waived and you will receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You said no?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I asked the wrong question. Yes or no to my consideration of your having an appointed lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Dickerson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Goodrum.
Your Honor, he's another one who's bonded out.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Green. Okay, Mr. Green, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of terroristic threats as a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're charged with simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And you're charged with battery family violence. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Fendi Pruitt and a Deasia Pruitt. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. If you bond out prior to that hearing, your case that hearing date will get waived and your case will get sent over to court, the new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Green. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Hart. Give me 1 second, Mr. Hart. Stay right there. Mr. Hart, sir, you're charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're also charged with simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Brittany Morgan. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I probably could figure out, find a lawyer.
Okay.
But if it's needed, I would get to it, but I don't think I need it.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Hart?
I guess I should wait till court exactly for what I'm trying to say, but I don't think I should have the charges because of the person. I took the kids in the house, okay? So the kids.
Hold on. So
there was no kids around.
Stop. Listen, Mr. Hart. These proceedings are being recorded. Okay. The state has to prove every element beyond a reasonable doubt. If you start making admissions here today, all the prosecutor has to do is pull up this recording, and now you possibly stuck yourself before you even knew what they were going to be able to prove or not.
That's what I was saying. I don't know. That's what I was saying. That's why I said asking you, should I be talking that now or should just wait?
You should wait.
Okay.
All right, sir. You're free to go back.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. James. Mr. James, sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving on a I'm sorry.
Gotta see the.
What about got the
Shut. Sorry,
No problem. Mr. James, sir, you're charged with one count of driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And you're charged with one count of driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag. Bond is set at $500. These are both misdemeanor offenses, so your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry?
yes, Your Honor.
How much do you make per hour?
1925.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Dwight Johnson. Mr. Johnson, sir, you're charged with one count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. These are both misdemeanor offenses. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. The hearing will be by Zoom. However, if you bond out, that hearing date will get waived and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. It says you refuse to fill out the form. Does that mean you're going to hire your own attorney or you're going to represent yourself? Okay, do you have any questions for me, Mr. Johnson? Okay, so you're free to go back. Mr. Javon Johnson. Mr. Johnson, sir, you're charged with one count of disorderly conduct. Bond is set at $1,500, and one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Tyler Ellis. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. However, if you bond out, that hearing date is going to get waived and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. Sir, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Jerome Johnson. Sir, you're charged with one count of disorderly conduct. Bond is going to be set at $1,500, and one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Vincent McPherson. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. If you bond out prior to that hearing, that hearing date will get waived and your case will get sent over to state court and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Johnson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Franklin Kemp. Mr. Kemp, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Shanice Eliezer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. However, that hearing date will get waived if you were to bond out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Kemp. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, Your Honor. I will ask if the court will consider reducing my bond or giving me a OR bond, because the residence and the property damage is all owned by me. I own the house, and the Miss Shanice was just a tenant that we was a victim from the house. I own that house, I own the property damage, and they said the property damage was less than $500, and they're just referring to a lock that they said I locked on my own door on my own house. So the tenants, they was destroying my house and trying to move their furniture out at 2 in the morning.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Kemp. Okay, I'm gonna leave it the way it is, Mr. Kemp. I just took a moment to look at your criminal history. So I'm gonna leave it where it is. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Lynn.
Your Honor, I believe you stated that you were, he was the one who needed the Mandarin interpreter.
Yes, and I was gonna dismiss his charge.
We sent him back to intake.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. McClure. Mr. McClure, sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. This is a misdemeanor offense. So bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
I was actually gonna ask you, I know I'm not supposed to, but would you consider also an OR bond for me? Because I have no criminal history and I only had gram of marijuana.
What year were you born, Mr. McClure?
2001.
Okay. I am going to not take you up on that request. And this is the main reason. My boss is the only person that approves OR bonds, and she's not here. So you basically would have to sit in jail for the weekend to hear whether she says yes or no.
Unless I bond out.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna grant an OR bond. I'm just gonna leave the bond set the way that it is.
Right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Is it Milanus?
Milan's, he's in Rock Island.
Okay.
Did they say he's in lockdown?
No, he's coming now. He's coming, he's here.
Okay. Judge, can you do me a favor and give me the last two warrant numbers as you do each bond amount for this one?
Yes.
Thank you.
How you doing, Officer? Judge.
Okay. Sir, you're charged in warrant number ending 5-4, driving under the influence of alcohol. To the extent that you're a less safe driver, bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged in warrant number ending 5-5 with speeding. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're charged in warrant number ending 5-7 with driving too fast for conditions. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're charged in warrant number ending 6-0 with driving a vehicle without a seatbelt on. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're charged in warrant number ending 6-1 with driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag. You're charged in warrant number ending 6-2 with driving a vehicle with no insurance. Bond is set at $1,000. You're charged in warrant number ending 6-3 with violation of Georgia's open container statute. Bond is going to be listed at $500. You're charged in warrant number ending 6-4, driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be listed at $1,500. And you're charged in warrant number ending 6-5 with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. These are all misdemeanor offenses, so your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. If you bond out, that hearing date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, sir?
I would like to see if I qualify for a signature bond. I have an issue. I work tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, and I've been working this job for like a year now. And I have a room that I've been staying in, and if I don't pay my rent, then I'm gonna lose my room and all my belongings. And I have to go to work on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have to pay my room on these 3 days, then I'm going to lose my room that I've been paying for. Then I'll be able to start all over off the street, homeless, trying to figure out how I'm going to get a way to even get around to paying these fines or having a way to even get them, which would cause a whole nother problem. You understand what I'm saying, sir? What I'm asking is, because I don't know if somebody's going to break in my room or not. It's an area like that. So I would like to try to get out so I can get back to working and then just finish what all you need me all to do. Send the letters in the mail. I just would like to see if you can give me a signature one so that way I can go back to work and can maintain my household.
So it looks like you have 33 cycles on your criminal history report. And just so you know, a cycle is you just cycle every time you have interactions with law enforcement. So with having that many cycles, your ability to get an OR bond is probably not going to be pretty high. Did you hear my response to the other gentleman who asked about OR bonds?
Yes, sir. But all the times that I had a signature bond, I never had a problem.
So, sir, the earliest you will get an answer to that question will be Monday. And you'll sit here in jail until I can get with my boss to ask if she approves it or not. So you may sit in jail all weekend, and then Monday she says no, and you still have to pay the bond. Can we unmute him so I can hear him? Okay, go ahead, sir.
I have to work tomorrow. I have to work Saturday. I work during the weekends. If I don't go to work, sir, I'm gonna lose my job and I'm gonna lose my room. I understand what you're saying. All I'm asking is that you can give me these sentences so I can maintain my job and maintain my.
Okay, stop. I want you to repeat to me why I can't give you an OR bond.
There's something about waiting till Monday.
The only person that authorizes OR bonds is my boss. So if I were to give you an OR bond, you and I'll be living together because I'll get fired. Do you understand that?
I just have to wait till Monday.
Sir, I would encourage you to pay this bond as best you can. Because with 33 cycles, I highly doubt that my boss is going to say yes to that.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't have the money to pay these bonds. Like a lot of these charges are bogus. And I know until we go to court, it's going to be a while. But then, like I'm saying, everything that I've accumulated in my life, I have in this room. I don't have any other way of nobody coming down to help me, smooth my things or have to worry about looking for another job, sir, when I get out of jail. This is going to alter my whole life. All I'm asking is that I can get out and maintain the functions of life that I've been dealing with. This is the most time that I ever been out of jail doing 2 these cycles. So I've really been doing good. I wasn't even trying to drive the car. There was a lady on the ground she need help. All I was trying to do was hit the lady over, help to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? That was me doing a good deed. I was walking across the street going to give me some milk. She on the ground. I just wanted to help her. And then I'm in here.
Is there anything else that I can discuss with you other than an OR bond? Because I've given you that answer 3 times now.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out if there's something else that we can do to where I can be able to get out and maintain my household and be able to go to work. And if that's the only thing you can do is a signature bond, I understand you saying I have to wait. But is there anything else? Because I don't have any, that's a lot of charges that's going to accumulate. I don't have the money to pay that. I don't get paid till Sunday. And then when I get paid on Sunday, I have to pay my room Tuesday. I'm broke.
I understand, sir. I do. I mean, I wish it was something else I could do for you. Okay, you're free to go back.
Is there no way I can get out and do some community service or something to work this off?
Go sit down.
Mr. Poe. Mr. Poe, sir, you're charged with felony possession of marijuana, approximately 8 pounds of marijuana at the airport. I can set bond on this offense, but I'm denying bond based upon looking at your criminal history. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for November 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. And that will also be by Zoom. Looks like you plan on hiring your own attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Poe?
I just want to make sure there's no way that I can get out of jail until I go to court for the bond. There's no way I can get a bond until I go to court.
If your lawyer is able to negotiate with the district attorney's office a consent bond, then yeah, I don't know of any judge that wouldn't sign it. And then you can get out.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go back, sir. Mr. Ricard. Sir, you're charged with 7 pounds of marijuana And I'm going to deny bond in this case based upon my review of your criminal history. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd. It looks like you also plan on hiring your own lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Sir, is there any other way that I can get a bond?
No. I can. I do have the discretion, but again, looking at your criminal history, and I think you're a multi-state offender, and the amount of marijuana, I'm just not going to set a bond right now. Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Riddle. Mr. Riddle, sir, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. I cannot set bond for this offense pursuant to Georgia statute OCGA 17-6-1. Allegation is 34 pounds of marijuana. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. You're going to also have a preliminary hearing date, a bond hearing date set for September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will also be by Zoom. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can see if I qualify for appointment.
Are you currently working, Mr. Riddle?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Being that I haven't been in trouble before, do you think it's gonna be hard for me to get a bond after?
So I've seen the prosecutor consent to bonds for people charged with trafficking marijuana, but it'll be probably $50,000-$60,000.
$50,000-$60,000?
Probably. I mean, and that again, they are the ones that until there's a bond hearing, they're the ones that tell you what they're willing to do. Okay, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Staples.
Hey.
Mr. Staples, sir, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. I cannot set bond for this pursuant to Georgia Statute 17-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd, also by Zoom. It says you refuse to fill out the form. Does that mean you're going to hire your own lawyer?
We've spoken about that form, and I'm not 100% yet, but I've been trying to contact an attorney, but I didn't get intake until basically midnight here, and then I wasn't allowed to make a phone call until 4 a.m. I made 2 phone calls, and unfortunately, the only person I was able to reach was my girlfriend on the West Coast, and she's been in and out of the hospital, so I don't have any progress yet. I was hoping that I could get some information about who is the prosecutor or who can we reach out to, maybe even this afternoon. If I'm able to contact my attorney, and then he's got a criminal attorney for me. I've never had to use one, but he has a good recommendation. So I'm trying to get that done ASAP as soon as we get back to the room. Is there somebody that they can know to reach out to in Clayton County to speak about getting a bond negotiation?
Yes, before I answer that question, does that mean that you plan on hiring your own lawyer?
I'm trying to, yes. If I'm not able to, then I don't know if I would be able to qualify for.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, Mr. Staples. Are you currently working?
Yes, so I'm a small business owner. I'm a contractor, and I have crews that we install cellular tower equipment, 4G, LTE, and 5G, and FirstNet for first responders. So it's up and down. So this past couple months have taken big losses and haven't really had income these 2 months. Not anything that put me above breaking even.
Okay.
So
I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, and if you're able to proceed with your plans to hire your own lawyer, just let that lawyer know that you were appointed a lawyer, and that person would have to contact someone in the Clayton County Public Defender's Office. Now, to answer your other question, the person that normally does pretrial, handles pretrial matters up until beyond preliminary hearing and bond hearings, her name is Cheryl Freeman.
Cheryl Freeman. Can
Yes.
you spell Cheryl for me?
Sherryl.
Okay.
Okay.
And she's.
All right, sir.
Oh,
You're free to go. You're free to go. I'm sorry. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, just clarifying that Cheryl Freeman, she's out of Clayton County. Like, I guess if I am able to contact a defense attorney, they would know how to get in touch with the people there. Or is there any
the district attorney's office. She works for the Clayton County District Attorney's Office.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Stockton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stockton, sir, you're charged with one count of possessing methamphetamine in the jail. This is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. If you were to bond out, that hearing will get waived and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. And also, I was wondering if you could reduce the bond. I've been incarcerated for the last 2 years, so income and money is kind of a hard option for me right now.
I'm gonna leave that where it is, Mr. Stockton. So I'm gonna deny your request. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, Mr. Stockton.
Were you gonna do the attorney?
I'm sorry, sir.
You said you were gonna see if I could be.
I did. I appointed a lawyer to represent you.
Can I get the name of the lawyer or will I have to wait?
It's the Clayton County Public Defender's Office. I don't know which lawyer there will have your case.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So I have two add-ons, Tevin Sims and Timothy Hurley. Are you Mr. Sims?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, sir, you're charged with one count of possession with intent to distribute marijuana. I'm going to deny bond on that charge at this stage. You're also charged with possession of cocaine. I'm going to deny bond on that charge. You have one count of possession of drug-related objects. That's a misdemeanor. I'm going to set bond at $1,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. And your bond hearing date will be set on September 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, also by Zoom. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Sims?
I am.
Okay. How much do you make per hour?
$13.50.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir, I do. I was added on today because I was taken out of my pod last night because I've been incarcerated since last Saturday. I have not had a birthday for October 14th for bond. What is it for bond for torture? They issued me a birthday October 14th for bond torture. I have never bonded out. Somebody used my name as an alias. I don't have an arresting officer or anything. I was unable to bond out on my fine for Riverdale yesterday for $80. So I'm sitting in here for wrongful arrest. And they pulled me out my pod last night to go fingerprint me. The last time I was fingerprinted inside this jail was 2018. So somebody recently used my name in their case. I don't have an arresting officer at all. I was never arrested for any of this.
Okay.
I don't have priors on my record or none of that for any of this.
So the fingerprinting is the first part of identifying who you are. And there will be someone who can match the fingerprints from the other case with this. So I would just make certain that I have my lawyer aware of that so that that matter can be taken care of.
Yeah, they pulled me out my pod and put me in isolation yesterday when they found out that it wasn't me. So the guy who was the person who was a Joel Timothy Robinson.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Sims?
Yes, sir. Is there any way that I can have those charges dismissed or something or anything? Because I saw $80 so I can leave today.
It would have to go back before the judge has signed the bond forfeiture.
I don't even know. I never had a judge. I literally just got incarcerated.
I don't. You're telling me about this is the first time I've heard about it.
And see, my constitutional rights, I'm supposed to be in front of a judge within 72 hours. I've been incarcerated since last Saturday. Because they didn't understand why I never went to first appearance.
Okay. So you can have your lawyer file a motion with magistrate court requesting that you be released.
How do I go?
Okay. Have your lawyer file a motion with magistrate court requesting that you be released.
Okay. Oh, so you're appointing me?
He already did.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how long
to you, and they reach out to you, explain everything, explain to him to the lawyer.
Okay.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Sims. Mr. Hurley. Mr. Hurley, sir, you're charged with 1 count of murder. I cannot set bond for this offense at this stage. You're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. Bond is going to be denied. And you're charged with 1 count of armed robbery, where I cannot set bond at this stage. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for September 2nd. That will also be by Zoom. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I've been a lot through you. I'm surprised. I think I already got one.
Okay.
But you know the way I can get a speed trap.
I'm sorry?
No, I can get a speed trap. I'm supposed to do that. How that work?
Oh, speedy trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you don't have a right to a speedy indictment. So you can talk to your lawyer about filing that. And your lawyer can file something and try to get it moving. There are constitutional speedy trial rights, but you're gonna have to speak to your lawyer about that. Now, are you sure you have a lawyer?
I did. I ain't been reporting it yet.
I'm sorry, sir.
I ain't been recording to you, but the last time I went, when I talked to him.
Okay, so you do have a lawyer.
I just ain't talked to him.
Okay, well, speak to your lawyer about your desire to have a speedy trial, okay?
Sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, Sergeant Burley is on the way to go make contact with that last individual that you have to speak with.
Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording and I'm gonna turn my camera off and my audio, but I'm gonna still be sitting at my desk.
Your Honor, I believe that's everyone here. Are we free to go?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You have a good weekend.